Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today we are looking at Transformers Legacy Voyager class Autobot Blaster and Eject. Now, like some of their releases, this was a bizarre one because they had literally only just released it in the Kingdom line. So it always bugs me when they do that. Don't get me wrong, I want everybody to get a hold of Blaster. He's been a must sought after figure for a very long time, and the fact that they've got this so right, it makes sense. But I just find it a little bit bizarre, if you want to put it, because there was no need for it. I understood because now what will happen is we'll go many years without perhaps this figure or an enhanced figure being released. That's what will happen, and that's when prices soar. Whereas if Hasbro are a bit more tactful, they would release them as normal, and then you give it 12 months, there'd be a new set of fans looking for these figures. There will be. There always will be. Transformers is such a massive fan base. It makes sense. Anyway, that's my little whinge. So let's look at the packaging. Packaging looks very, very nice, and they're using their new environmentally friendly open windows, which I know people have problems with. I personally don't have problems with it because I believe the more we do in the environment around sustainability, perhaps the better the future will be for our grandchildren, etc. So therefore, or their great grandchildren, generations away. You got how you transform on the back, some nice poses, which is pretty cool. And then on the side, you get a picture of Blaster. So let's get him out and have a closer look. Okay, so here is Blaster out of his packaging. And like I said, I'm already a big fan of this figure. I mean, just look at that beautiful chest piece with the Autobot sign on there. You got Rewind in there. And then you got this head sculpt, which is here. Now, I guess... No, I am going mad. I guess my only gripe is I would have liked the blue of the eyes to be a bit bluer. I'm not sure if it's just my camera or because of what time of day it is where I'm trying to do this review early morning. It's perhaps not picking up very well. But I am... Sorry, let me just get my camera back in peace. Apologies, I've got a wash into... to the left that hasn't been put away, so I do apologize for that. Anyway, moving on. So I would have liked the eyes to be a bit bluer, just so that they stand out a little bit more, in my opinion. But that is probably a minor gripe. But like I said, the chest piece is really nice, and then you got the buttons, and he does have this little finger that he can, just sort of get it into position to press it. You gotta sort of mess around with it a little bit, but you can get him there to press it. I can't even get into it now. Anyway, you just press that, and then Rewind pops out. And then inside, they've got some nice little detail in there, which remind you of tape cassettes, of when you would put the tape in there back in the day. And then just all throughout the body, just looks really nice, some really nice detail on there. You can see the little pins throughout, but I think that is a minor gripe compared to what it could look. And the back looks really compact. And as you can see, you've got multiple places where you could put his gun if you want to. I like that position, just sort of like that. It reminds me a little bit of Rambo. And if you put it like that, you can see the gun through there. It looks a bit weird. And I know you're all making dodgy jokes in the background based on that. So I like to put it sideways because I feel like it works better, but I think you could get away with perhaps just solid like that as well, and that looks really cool. And then you can take his gun, and then you can put it there as he's holding it like that, or you can put it in the other hand, which technically has a little trigger finger, if I can say the damn word. You can do that as well. It's really tight to get in. And then you have these other pegs, so any pegs around, you can put this in if you want to. It's entirely up to you. Or you could do that one. I always like doing the arm one because it's like Megatron or the Seekers. It's like... Anyway, moving on. So in terms of articulation, his head can go round, can go up and down a little bit. It's got a little bit of movement left and right as well. The arm can go up like that, can go all the way around like that. He has the single, which is normal on a transformer, and then that's sort of because that moves with the transformation, you can sort of move that like that. That's about it. No left or right in terms of that movement. He can go all the way around. He can do the full splits. And he does have a chunky leg, but it's not at the back as such. So he does get a reasonable amount of movement in there. Now, you can lift that up as well. There's a swivel there. And you can adjust that slightly to get him into some little poses. And then in terms of rewind, I've forgotten how you transform him. And this is why I don't do things on camera. There we go. He's slowly getting there. There we go. I said it before and I'll say it again. I am not a fan of these little transformers because they just... I think for me, this one, I don't know. I think it's... I can't even flick him out. Apologies. I'm just going to quickly do that off camera. I think the biggest thing for me is just the translucent part of this figure really bugs me completely. I think that's my biggest gripe with that. I feel like if this was just a color rather than see-through, I feel like it would have been better. That's just my opinion. But he is designed to go obviously in the chest, but I feel like just sometimes he's a little bit small, so you can see him there a little bit smaller. It would have been nice just a little tad bit bigger, but I'm not sure how that would have worked in the transformation. So they've accommodated the transformation, sacrificed the robot mode. So head can go round, arm can go round like that, he can go up like that. No swivel there. He can do the full splits, and he has some movement there if you want him to. But in reality, this figure is just going to go in there. And I hope Hasbro release some of the other figures that came with him, Ram Horn, etc. Steel Jaw, I think that's how you put it. I think it's Steel Jaw. It's been a while since I watched G1, so I can't necessarily remember. So I hope that stuff comes with it. And there was another bot that went with him as well, which I think was a similar color as well. So I feel like if they had done the blue, I would have been more happier. You know what will happen? They will release a studio series at some point, and it will have all of them. That's what will happen. You know, and, well, he'd be movie accurate, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Blaster Robot mode, very comfortable. So I'm going to get transformed, and we can have a closer look at that. Here we have Blaster in his AUP mode, and I think it does still come up very, very nicely. It looks very, very cool. And very, very 80s, which is brilliant. And the Autobot sign looks very, very good. I think, once again, being a bit pedantic, I would have liked like a mini version of this. For those who are about scale, etc., that would have been nice. So for those who collected Masterpiece back in the day, with tracks, we got a little blaster because during that 2 episodes that he had dedicated to him, he had in one of them he had a blaster and a RAL. So I would have liked something like that. And I don't think it would have cost the world. Could they just add an extra quid on the price point, and we probably would have overlooked it because we would have thought that's a cool addition. But in reality, I'm not seeing any extras in terms of this new blaster. It came literally after the Kingdom Wave. The only thing that I think is different, and I can't remember exactly, is did they make Kingdom Blaster a bit more war-like? So do you know, back in the War for Subtron figures, they made them a bit, you know, damaged, or they had a bit of blast effects on them, those sort of things. So maybe that's the difference here, whereas this is G1 style, etc. That's the only thing that I can think of. The transformation's cool and really easy. And apologies, I seem to have got a hair in mine somehow. Not sure how that's happened. And then this just flicks open, nice and easy, and you can see eject in there, just pops out. And in there, once again, we've seen that, and it does look very, very nice. It looks cool like that. Put that back, and on the side, the weapon just clips on the back. But do note that it does easily flick off. It is literally just a little peg there. But it looks cool. I mean, you're not going to be looking at the back, but there are certain gaps. Is it the end of the world? No, not in my mind. Not at all. I could say you could perhaps, no, maybe not. Didn't really think that through before I start saying it. No, that's not working. Anyway, it's because I'm not using my usual stand. Anyway, I think it looks good. I like this figure. It's a great addition and one that has been long required, should we say, from a Hasbro Chugs version. And the ones that we've got in the past have been cool. They have been decent. This one fits with this current line in terms of size and how it looks. So anyway, hope you like my video. If you do, please support my channel by subscribing. Thank you to those that are already subscribed. I appreciate you folks a lot. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important these days. And as always, embrace the geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.